Take a look at the next progression in our body positioning series with our athlete being in a semi-popped, or just what we call a pop position, with that left arm extended. So here what we're going to look at is the athlete's going to be kicking with their left arm extended. There's going to be no equipment, so nothing or no fins here on the feet. And what we're going to be working on is going to be what we would like to see be a little bit more of a natural freestyle body positioning as we're performing our kick here. So we kind of see here the shoulder is going to be just kind of slightly popped up, meaning the hips should also be in that exact same spot. We like this position more for freestyle because this is more natural to the amount of rotation that we would like our athletes to have. So we also like this drill here because it teaches the athletes on how to be able to kick while maintaining their head positioning here at the surface, and how to be able to breathe while they're kicking. Sometimes we have athletes who will perform freestyle and they'll be going, but they forget on to breathe when basically they're going, and then legs will shut down or the breath will shut down when they're performing the breath. We'd like the athletes to keep breathing while we're moving. So let's go over those key points of the drill and what we like to see. So here, first thing we look at is the feet. We like to see the feet being extended as we're going through, and we see that very present here in both legs. We would kind of want to tell our athlete, while we really love the effort of kicking at the surface of the water, we want to make sure that we're not kicking up too high as we're kicking here. We just want to kind of keep everything right along the surface. But this white water, the boiling water, or thunder kick, again, this all means the same thing as we're moving through. We just like seeing that turbulence here at the surface. When our athletes are kicking, we want to remember to allow for a natural knee bend as we're moving through the water. That way we're not going to be having the legs too far up like this, meaning then we're really kicking a lot of air and not really moving. Same is true, we don't really want to see the legs coming in too far under the body here. Otherwise, it'll be very difficult for the athlete to get their feet back up here. When the athlete is kicking downward, what we would want to see is then the foot just kind of going forcefully down. The cue that we'd like to give our athletes is to kind of really think about kicking a ball. When they're able to kick that ball, then we are going to generate a lot of downward force along the foot. So then we're going to really be utilizing the hip here, quadricep and hamstring, as we're performing the kick, and we should get a nice strong kick here, resulting in the feet staying up at the surface. As we mentioned before, the hips and shoulders here should be just semi-popped, just kind of peeking out of the water as we're moving through. And then we want to look here at the head positioning. Head positioning here is fantastic. We love the head being right just along the surface of the water, and then the goggle line being right along the surface of the water too. Just remember, keep that breathing while those legs are going. The arm here should be extended in front of the shoulder, and then we just kick and breathe, kick and breathe. One of the biggest challenges your athletes are probably going to experience with this just is there will be some kind of swaying here with the shoulders, or potentially then here with the hips. Really focus on just having that strong conduit or core engagement as we're moving through the water, and then keep those legs going. Just some natural movement side to side will be all right. We just don't want anything excessive as we're moving through. Remember to keep the hand here in front of the shoulder, and we'll check for that on our return view. And then we just keep kicking, and remember to breathe. Beautiful job here by our athlete. Let's take a look under the water. Just so here when we're kicking, we would have a slightly downward angled kick as our athlete is moving through the water, which should be a very more natural position for our athlete to kick in. And then a lot of turbulence, so it'll be difficult for us to kind of do some of our other checks just to see where the athlete's at. Okay, on our return view here, we're going to look for those same things. Feet are going to be up here at the surface, just having this nice strong kick. Beautiful job right there. Hips and shoulders are just going to be up, slightly popped. Then head positioning here, we want to look for the head being up at the surface. We just want to watch here a little bit. At times, our athlete will move that head up and down. We just want to kind of keep that head in a very, very strong, consistent position as we're moving through the water. We can kind of see the arm here in front of the head. What we would like to see and encourage our athlete is to think about bringing the arm out here a little bit more toward the shoulder. There we go. You can kind of see our athlete is just a little bit, this is probably will be a little bit better right here, just a little bit curved like that right there. And that means just the body will follow where the hand goes. So we just want to make sure we're keeping everything so that we can kind of go straight. Otherwise, our athlete holds the head at a good position. Legs here are nice and strong as we're moving through the water. And then underwater here as we're moving through, we just again kind of want to see a different perspective. Hand staying up at the surface. That kick that we talked about should be going at that angle. You kind of see that hand here in front of the head. We would want to see that just again brought out a little bit so that way we can kick straighter. But overall, our athletes done a pretty good job with this drill. Just remember, every athlete will be able to do drills to a little bit of a different level. And it's just important to keep giving them feedback and those opportunities to fail, learn, and then grow from. Overall, if you found some great value out of this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe.